This is Dennis Thomas, student ID 501-00704. This is the video assignment for Capstone II in the Organizational Leadership Program. So when I started this program, I had just begun a manager role at the company I was working for. And in order to go down that management track, I thought that maybe this course material, the organizational leadership, would be a good fit. Because I'm technically I'm a systems engineer. So on the technical side, I'm great, but on the management side, it was new. I mean, I've been a team lead before, but not full on manager or, somebody that provides vision or anything like that. So that's why I started this program. But I would say that I wasn't a very good manager, let me rephrase, I'm a very good leader. So as far as the foundations of organizational leadership, I understood my biggest problem with this entire degree is that in my mind, always put supervising and managing and leading together. They weren't two separate entities. So, going through the foundations part and understanding that there's different theories and the different ways that certain leaders can achieve their goals, it helped me kind of start separating the two between leadership and manager, or leader and manager. As far as data-driven decision making, like I said, I'm a systems engineer. Everything that we do is measured by metrics. We have to have graphs, charts, data points. If I go ask for funding for a certain software or project or hardware, they're going to want to know why. And the only way I can support that, I can't just say because we need to. I have to show the proof as to why we need to move in one direction or the other. Organizational ethics is something that I've struggled with in the past, only because I consider myself to be an ethical person, and then when I see in a professional environment that something unethical is happening, whether it be in a large scale or just something small within the team, or discrimination or something like that, it really frustrates me, because a lot of those things in that area can be subjective. I mean, so it's hard to deal with sometimes. I mean, it shouldn't be all that subjective. Ethics should be pretty, simple, straightforward. But I've seen many places where it's not respected, and and unfortunately, I see some of those people succeeding, and I don't think it should be that way. But I'm sure things will catch up to them eventually. As far as leadership theory, I enjoyed learning more about the organizing and controlling workplace situations. The planning part, I think I always had, but as far as putting it all together and executing, has been a struggle for me in the past. And I think some of the things I've learned, as far as the processes and things like that are available, I think I'll be able to use that going forward in my career. As far as leading change, there's a lot of issues. I think for me, when leading change, is that I've always been leader mentality. I don't want to say alpha, but a leadership mentality. I kind of naturally gravitate towards that. So I've experienced, having to explain the vision and motivate the, employees or colleagues, and finding ways to, get to where we need to go. The key there, I believe, is making sure everybody understands the need for change. You can't just drop a bomb on the team and go, okay, this is where we're going. They're all going to be like, why? And I don't think you shouldn't move forward either. I mean, you shouldn't move forward if you don't know why yourself. So you should be able to explain that to them. Regarding the capstone, I was actually kind of worried about the capstone, because I've done a lot of technical writing in the past, but never any in-depth, I would call research type papers with references and everything. I did struggle with finding the right sequence. I had the idea in my head of what I wanted to say and what I wanted to include, but putting it into some sort of meaningful, order with that it flows correctly, it was tough. With this, Capstone 2 wasn't as difficult as Capstone 1, I think, because Capstone 1 was based on some interviews that I did with some leaders that I know. And their verbiage and the way they answer questions, you kind of have to, sometimes read between the lines and get it to where you think it needs, where it actually aligns to explain it, and then to, according to the instructions of the capstone essay. So, um, otherwise, I mean, the Capstone 2 paper that I did on Microsoft is, I understand most of the concepts of what we were trying to accomplish there, but there's some things that I may have picked the wrong company at one point, I thought, because in a lot of areas, they're the leader in a lot of those areas. They set precedent, they develop their own processes that other people copy. And since they're so big, whenever you have to work with Microsoft for whatever reason, every company has to go through the same way that Microsoft does it. So everybody that's dealt with Microsoft knows the Microsoft way. So it was challenging to try to find a way to find new recommendations that weren't clouded by the way I know they actually work. But I think I put one item in there about they need to put together a unified post-sales implementation and support structure. I think that's super important. There's too many people and companies, I'll go refer back to my technology space, that they get that sale, they might send out a consulting company to do the deployment, they get their check and they say it's deployed, and then they leave. And then getting post-sale support, they automatically switch it to technical support. And so there's no like handoff between the two usually, or there's not any they're not unified in their approach on how to deal with customers. So I mean, it's been challenging in a lot of ways, but uh, I've learned how to see that in advance when people are giving me proposals, and I understand that you know you're not always going to understand that's the situation right away, but as long as you see the deal kind of developing and the project developing, you can usually tell where it's going to end up and what the post implementation is going to look like. But it's not all. I mean, it's kind of crazy that they get paid and they move on, and nobody seems to have a problem with that. I kind of do, because I'm more into building relationships and not just bullet point execution of certain things. But overall, I mean, I right now I think I'm in a good position to take over. I'm actually being promoted at work to a team leader within the next 2 weeks. So I'll be back into that pseudo management role, but without the HR aspects, which I'm okay with. Um, and I think in that role, I think that some of these skills that I've learned, it's still going to be highly technical, but there will be people not reporting to me, but under my guidance or under my leadership, and they are technical people, so they're not always big into the social interaction piece of things or building relationships. They're engineers that just want to know what they have to do and get it done. And I think the most important thing for me moving forward is to make sure that uh, as a leader that I recognize their efforts and either praise or congratulations or kudos, whatever needs to be done. So they have they're kind of the idea that I'm appreciating their work and they're doing a great job is reinforced outside of just pay raises or good reviews or bonuses or whatever the case may be. Money's always great, but I think on the day to day, it's not about the money. It's about how it's actually going on and how you feel. Um, from here, I don't know what I want to do, honestly. I mean, I'm in my career for 25 years now in the technology space. I think I'll be more comfortable if I ever take on a full on leadership role or move into something higher, like at a vice president or a C-level position somewhere. I do think that, at least a vice president of information technology or chief information security officer, some type of role like that is probably in my future, and that's what I'm working towards. And I believe that most everything that I've learned throughout this major is going to help me achieve that and then maintain that position and be fair and happy. So thank you again for taking care of reviewing my homework, my assignments. I really appreciated everything that's happened here at Texas A&M Commerce. But I hope to utilize everything that I've learned. Thank you.